It's a stare down. I'm Eric Paul Johnson,
And I'm Eric Wincentsen.
and here's our Zoomcast for mostly Fault Line, but we have a comment that for Alone in the Universe that came in late. Plus, also have some news. First of all, subscribe and hit the bell button, whichever angle that is up at the top. Here at the
Actually down there someplace.
well, I don't know. On my computer, this is subscribe and bell is up in that corner or that corner.
Okay.
At the YouTube page, Electric Light Orchestra podcast channel. We're up to 180 something subscribers, I think 186. Give us money. Down there. Not in the closed captioning anymore. Down there in the video description. There's PayPal.
What are you doing?
Patreon. Maybe I do have Alzheimer's.
that mic is not consenting.
Yeah. Maybe I do have Alzheimer's, which will make sense when we get to I'm Losing You for From Out of Nowhere. And you can also send to our P.O. box, which the address is also down there. And if you send us a check, make sure you make it out to Eric Wincentsen. And all that's down at the bottom there.
Right.
Yep. Or Lego sets. You could, no, because then Eric's got to go through the hassle of shipping me a $250 Lego set, which is pretty heavy. So never mind that. Just cash.
Yeah.
Or checks.
Yeah. Or if it is a Lego set that's worth money, I just don't tell them. I look on eBay and I sell it.
Well, the smart thing to do is hold it until the set is retired, then sell it, because the price of that will go up about 2 or 3 times. And that Home Alone Lego set is, I think it's a $300 set. So, yeah, when they retire that, you can get about $600, $900.
Huh.
Yeah, don't invest in stocks. Invest in Legos. I've been saying this for 20 years.
You invest in Lego stocks?
Lego isn't on the stock market.
Oh, okay.
I looked into it.
Oh, okay.
If I'm going to invest money in, I should do it to Lego because I freaking love Legos.
Yeah.
And we did get some money. Hellbag last week, one of our YouTube subscribers, sent us $5. Hooray! And since I work with such wonderful people, they said, you know what, Eric? You don't have to split it up with us. You can keep the whole $5. So that was very nice of them. They all missed out on 87 cents, I think. I don't know.
You used a calculator.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone would have gotten $1. And they were like, no, it's okay. You keep that $5. So there you go. I spent it on hookers and hooch.
Oh, okay. Is that a new DVD? Is that a new knockoff DVD instead of Turner and Hooch? It's Hookers and Hooch.
Well, you really kind of need to see the quality of hookers here in Troy, Illinois, to understand that $5 can get you hookers and hooch.
Oh, and her name is Maud. She's
yes.
Also the comptroller for the city.
Yes, and she does look like B. Arthur. So there you go. Thanks for outing my B. Arthur kink.
Okay, so
but before we get to Alone in the Universe and Fault Line, we got a comment about the Zoomcast for Letter from Spain.
Michael Faith says, "What the hell is this? Letter from Spain is Letter from Spain is a work of beautiful atmospheric hypnotic bliss. Hard to believe that there's a whole Zoomcast dedicated to bashing it. Won't be watching any further epoxides of your show." Okay, well, I didn't know we made different types of glue.
There have been times when I've been kind of sticky, so.
Well,
yeah.
That's why you waited outside.
Yeah, going back to the mod kink and the hookers. First of all, this guy loved the song so much that he called it Letter to Spain, not Letter from Spain. And this time it's not our fault. We didn't drive away a new listener. You guys, you people, you meanies who hated Letter from Spain, this one's on you. So we're guilt free.
Yeah, I was about to say Zoomcast. We don't we don't go off about songs on Zoomcast too much.
Yeah,
And
we pretty much state straight out these are the replies we've gotten from you, our beloved listeners.
mhm.
Um,
The
also,
song you're gonna die for, the hill you're gonna die on,
Letter from Spain
is Letter from Spain.
or Letter to Spain, whatever.
A letter to Spain, or
Yeah. Um, I mean, I liked Letter from Spain. You were kind of okay about it. A lot of people didn't like it. Um, but I don't know. It's just laying it all on us instead of the people. Um, and if I can be brutally honest, it's really stupid to really childish to be like, and this is coming from me, so that really means something if I say it's really childish. To listen to one thing or watch one episode of something and say, I'm done with this. I have suffered through podcasts um, that I kept hoping would get better. I mean, I gave them more than one chance. Sometimes I'd give them a couple, 14 episodes, a couple weeks worth, or even a month or whatever, before it's like, this is not getting any better. I can't listen anymore. So to write us off after one listen, and it wasn't even a proper podcast episode. It was just the Zoomcast where we're doing this.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I remember when I watched season 1, episode 2 of Star Trek: The Next Generation, and never watched another episode again.
Well, why should it? I mean, they're just ripping off old Star Trek scripts. They got drunk. They got that drunk disease with Kirk on the old Enterprise, and now Data gets drunk on the new Enterprise. So why should I watch this? Are they going to do the mirror universe next, or is Picard going to have some trouble with tribbles next? Forget it, man. I am out.
Or even worse, if you watched episode 3, which I think was the racist one.
Yeah, that one's worst. I did enjoy. I did enjoy the Naked Now, even if it was just well, here. I know it says 1965 on this script or 1966 on this script, but where Spock is scratched out, just pretend that you're Data. Go, Brent, be Data. Read his lines. Yeah, yeah, that one with the black planet capturing
Yeah.
Yar. Yeah, yeah, that was bad. Even Riker,
Yeah.
whatever his name is.
Jonathan
Jonathan
Frakes
Frakes.
quote, "This is a racist piece of
Excrement.
feces."
Yeah, yeah. We'll just go with excrement.
Yes.
It was a little more direct than that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was one of the times when Roddenberry actually personally fired the director and writer.
See, that's the thing I don't understand. And here we're veering off. We'll get back on after this. Roddenberry, he's in charge now. The studio said, or he some sort of threat or whatever. I'm in charge of this. You guys stay out. I mean, they even wrote him a letter saying, that scene where you blow that guy's head off with a phaser, that's a little too graphic. You might want to tone it down. So he turned the gore up. And the studio got on him a couple more times. And each time he turned the gore more up and up until his whole head just explodes and his chest opens up and all that. And the studio said, all right, you know what, we'll just stop. I mean,
Yep.
he was in charge. He's the top guy now. It's no more where in the movies he was, credited as consultant or something.
Well, that was because of Star Trek: The Motion Picture. They went, "Okay, you sit in the back seat and just
We're,
grumble."
yeah, we're going to make movies that are entertaining and not boring.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Grandpa, we're going someplace. You just sit back there and be quiet.
yeah. So I mean, he's in charge of the Next Generation now. He's the top guy there for that show, and how he let that one get by. I don't understand because he he's a pretty hardcore liberal kind of none of this racism stuff on my show kind of thing, and then that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Anyways, um, MJ.
we're an Electric Light Orchestra podcast, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. MJ Folds, who does those instrumental or those little bits between the maybe I am getting Alzheimer's. What the hell?
The jingles.
The little jingles between the phone bumper and the next segment after that. MJ Folds. Of course, I only slept 2 hours last night. Hopefully, it's that. Alone in the Universe, the song, is almost magnificent. I still think he is mixing his voice all wrong, an issue I have had with his post-Zoom stuff. But aside from that, it is glorious. I love the idea of it being about one of the two lonely Voyager probes. Quite a profound idea by the bearded Brummy carbon unit. I love a lot of the sounds, especially that thunderous piano that starts after he sings the first Alone. Love all the wildly sci-fi sounds and the way Jeff sings and lifts it with harmonies. I love the little vocals around at the end, too. This could, for me, go on for so much longer. An excellent end to the album. Yes, I agree.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay. And then we have comments about Fault Line.
Which you put yourself as first on that too.
Oh, well, I screwed up that order. Okay. Of course, it's in the wrong order than what I sent you. So, okay. Yeah. Yours went in the order we were going. Mine is in the order where first up is Hellbag, then Michael Faith, and above that is Alone in the Universe. So, okay, Fault Line. All right, Aaron Jansen, one of our YouTube channel subscribers, the Electric Light Orchestra podcast channel. Click on the subscribe button and ding the little bell so you get notifications when there's new episodes coming up.
Yep, touch our dingling.
Yes. I was going to go somewhere, but there's 1,000 things that want to come out of my mouth at once, and I can't pick just one. Aaron Jansen. Really, that's the folk tradition. Song tunes handed down and down with the next generation making their own tweaks. A lot of hymns follow in the same fashion. Tune names melded to new words. The House of the Rising Sun would be one of those tunes. Only that one essentially kept all its lyrics. Very cool to hear some of the original folk recordings of The Rising Sun. Yeah, Fault Line is very armchair theater. I'm sure the Seagulls are a nod to that. It's an okay song. It's how I feel about almost all of Paul McCartney's newer stuff. It's okay. Nice ending to this episode. Ha ha. And I forgot what the ending was, because we record these things like 2 months in advance, and once it's done, on to the next song. So I had to listen. And I laughed at the end. Oh, Flock of Seagulls. That was brilliant, Eric. So
yeah.
So yes, it was a nice ending.
Yeah, I did have a laugh at that when I listened to it because Tanya, who we'll have in a moment here, and you'll be reading in a moment, but yeah, she mentioned political stuff, and I was going, "What in the world did we say that was political?" So I had to go and listen to the.
Yeah.
So I knew what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Jim Kahn says, "I like the song to be the soundtrack for my violent transformation into a werewolf under a big lazy moon."
I kind of like that. It's a bouncy kind of skiffle song. Meanwhile, he's all distorting and turning into a monster. Pretty good. Tanya is next, right? Tanya Farhi, or Farhi, and she'll write me and tell me how to say it.
Right? I think it's Farhi.
So, which is fine because I'm an idiot. Are you kidding? Really, Eric? I was almost falling asleep, and then I heard that and now I'm completely awake. You know what I'm talking about. Actually, I didn't. Politics. Where do you leave or respond? This is a must. Oh, you can leave or respond here where you left a respond to tell me what you're talking about.
Actually, she did leave a response in a different place.
Yeah.
And give me a second here. I will
Okay.
bring it up and read it.
Here, I'll play some E.L.O. on my bass.
There we go. Okay. I've got it up here.
Okay.
This is, she left a comment right on our podcast page on Podbean.
Oh, right. I missed that.
Says, country music is not my cup of tea unless we consider Dolly Parton as country music. How can you not love Dolly? So that song, which I just heard for the first time, would not get into my playlist. But then came the surprise. The Eric's duo has announced that country music is popular with those who still love American. We won't mention their name. Hint, it starts with the letter R. So I love my country, and while it's still legit to feel patriotic, I hereby give this song another chance. And yes, Dolly Parton is most definitely country.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think we were knocking anybody. We were goofing around. So
Yeah.
it shouldn't be taken seriously.
Yeah. No, I usually like to make comments about my liberal pinko friend over here. So
And I usually like to tear into my fascist conservative friend over there. So
exactly. So
it's all done from love.
And the fact he's a commie.
Right, of course. That's I'm a socialist. Just give it all away. Yeah. Oh, and here in the next comment is somebody replying to Tanya,
which I will read once I find it again. There we go.
Okay.
Jib Khan again says, Tanya, after that off the cuff political remark, you'll have more people tuning into this episode. Though I think it was innocent and not planned. Perhaps.
I mean, as far as I know, I wasn't going to go there. Maybe Eric had it in his head. I'm going to take it here just for funning around.
Yeah. That was basically it.
Yeah.
For the record, I'm actually not a Republican anymore.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I haven't been for a while.
Have
you I went independent because, well, there's certain problems with the party at the moment, and I've gotten tired of it. So we won't go into much more than that, but yeah.
Yes, well, thank you for stepping away from the dark side of the force. We will appreciate it.
I will never in my whole life ever become a Democrat. So
well, give it time. It's sort of a transition thing. You go from Republican to independent, and then eventually you become a socialistic
libertarian,
socialist liberal, commie like me.
Yeah, you become a libertarian and you give up all hope.
Sounds about right. Astrid Johnson. I agree 100% with Mike Hudson's comment in the podcast. Yeah, Mike didn't like it, but he's not really crazy about Jeff's rockabilly tunes. I think he liked Hold On Tight, and then after that it was this again. So that's Mike Hudson's take. Me, I like most of the rockabilly that he's done. I know there was one, I think it was a bonus track somewhere or something, where it was like, well, this is just that rockabilly song that he remade from that was on Armchair Theater. I can't even think of it. I don't know. My brain is just not working today. Second track on Armchair Theater. So there you go.
Then Mike Hudson says, Astrid Johansson, looks like I was in the minority of not liking this song. I was expecting both Erics to snub this one, but I was surprised they both liked it.
I was surprised I liked it too, considering what I had read before I had heard it, that it was just another rockabilly song, and the critics were like, this again. So, but
yeah, because it's been diminishing returns on the rockabilly stuff from him, from Hold On Tight Onward.
Yeah.
Rock and Roll is King is about equal with Hold On Tight, but then after that, it's this again.
Yeah,
Okay,
it is
okay,
this again,
yeah.
but
Why? And
yeah, but like we said, I don't think it's rockabilly. I think it's skiffle, which is
yeah, it's not rockabilly, really.
which is sort of American country swing, sort of.
Yeah, it
Um,
doesn't have the rim shot on the rim playing on the drums. Doesn't have more the emphasis on the bass playing.
yeah,
Yeah, rockabilly has a certain sound to it a lot of times. So,
yeah. Um,
which yeah, which is why it doesn't exact people start off, it's kind of like punk, people start off with it and then they go on to other music in their career
yeah.
because it's not something that gives you very much room to move around in.
No, it doesn't. Um, Jeff Eberding or Eberding. Someday I'll get the name right. Love the Lindsey Buckingham reference. Oh, well, good. I'm glad you liked it. I actually really like that album. I like the Lindsey Buckingham songs more. The Lindsey Buckingham Fleetwood Mac songs I like more than I just never been crazy about Stevie Nicks. I can't stand that voice. I like Christine McVie stuff
Why
too.
not?
Yes, that right there is why. She sounds like a goat. Yeah. So yeah, no, but I love Law and Order. I've always loved that Lindsey Buckingham album. It's a pretty good album. If you like
Oh,
Lindsey Buckingham, and I do.
Ranther, I thought we were going to go into another tangent about Law and Order.
Yes. Well, I
The
think that
television show.
yes. Well, I think we should just not only defund but disband the police. Just to, the reason why there's crime is because people.
That's not the Law and Order I was talking about.
The reason that there's crime is because people see that as a challenge. I'm going to steal that car, and I'm going to see if the guy can get away with that. But without the law, then there's none of that. There's no challenge for people, so they don't do it. So there you go. That's me being even more liberal than I actually
I was about to say that's just you spewing bull feces.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
really is. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. No, Lindsey Buckingham songs often beat Stevie Nicks. Oh,
Uh,
wrong phrasing there.
Probably should, yeah, think that over
Yeah.
again. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
yeah. Reasons why I sometimes I'm on the fence about listening to certain artists. He's brilliant, but
Yeah.
Corey Gomel says, that's what I'm talking about. That's a podcast. Not because someone liked it or not, but because it was truly informative. You guys are best when you say the song reminds you of something else and play that something else. The Hole in Bucket and Midnight Special and Lindsey Buckingham references were spot on. And yes, it made me go listen to those songs. Just great examples. And I do agree with the both of you that this is a very good song. I love it. It has so much atmosphere. It's Jeff devoid of the wall sound, stripped down, and it's delightful. It reminds me of two other songs that are also devoid of the wall, stripped down yet oozing with atmosphere. Blue Moon Nights by John Fogerty and Neil Young's Harvest Moon. It's is Fault Line as good as these other two? In my mind, yes, but I might be a tad biased. Well, John Fogerty, I know where I can probably hear his music, but Neil Young, I don't think you can hear him anywhere anymore, can you?
Well, except for Apple Music, Amazon Music, every place else except for maybe Spotify. So,
Oh, and of course, on the old vinyl records that
yeah,
people bought.
all those behind you there, and then over to the
Yes.
side there, and probably in front
Yeah,
of you that we can't
it's that
see,
way. Yeah,
and that
Neil
way
Young's
too.
that direction.
Yeah. Um, I meant to listen to the John Fogerty song this morning, but I forgot to because my sleep was all out of whack, and I only had an hour to get myself prettied up and eat breakfast and Meanwhile, listen to whatever song we were covering this morning. But Harvest Moon, oh, that's a dreamy song. I love Harvest Moon. It's friggin' great, and it's Spotify's loss that it's not there anymore. But it's
Yeah.
probably Neil Young's gain, since I hear Spotify doesn't pay the artist jack crap.
No, they don't. Um, I know there's been one artist that put basically what was a hour-long silent track on there.
Yeah.
Just encourage people to listen to it all the time so they can make money.
Mm.
And Spotify was not happy about that. A band called the Pocket Gods has just put on an album of 50 30-second songs.
That's a good way, yeah.
So you can just sit there and play it over and over again and make them money.
So does that mean Spotify wouldn't have the Newtonian national anthem, which is, I think it's 9 seconds of silence. It's its own track, and that's the title of it. I think it's on Mind Games, where just 9 seconds of silence, and it's called the Newtonian national anthem, or something like that.
Huh. But whoever's going to be making money off of John Lennon's music
Yeah, good point. Has
is
been making,
probably not somebody you want money to go more to.
yeah, who's been, yeah, yeah.
Now there is John Cage.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. Yeah,
So I don't know who owns his stuff, but
yeah,
but it's better to see a live performance of that anyways. I think it's 4 minutes 11 seconds.
I think so.
I always get the seconds wrong on that, but it's always best to see the live performance because it is supposed to be a live thing where you actually have the guy come out, lift the piano cover, turn the pages, sit there in silence.
Mm-hmm.
After turning the pages, close the piano up and walk away.
Takes a bow and leaves. Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is actually meant to be something other than just silence and trolling.
Yeah.
Basically, the whole song, the whole piece is everybody shuffling in their seats and coughing and wondering what's going on.
Is he gonna play yet? Is he aware of where he's at? Is this what I paid $50 to get into to see?
Well, it's only 4 minutes and some, so
Yeah.
there's more music around that. Yeah, it is. It's best seeing it live because then you get the humor of it because it's supposed to be a presentation of the silence between the notes.
Mm-hmm. And Corey is right. Episodes like this are my favorite, where we're given stuff that we can really kind of dig into, that has a history that we can go back into and play all these samples of songs that remind or show how Jeff got that from this and from that, and yeah. So this is one of my favorite episodes, and I love those kind of episodes. I just wish Jeff gave us more to talk about in these recent episodes.
Right, because the ones, believe it or not, it is really hard just saying again that a song is boring and sounds the same as everything else that's come before it. It is. I would really wish instead of just sounding samey and boring that there were some songs that he did that stunk more. I mean, I've had a few where I thought they did, and there's been some disagreement on that. And you know what? That's been some of the most exciting parts of this podcast is dealing with the sass back, or no, not the back sass, no, backlash. That's what
that too.
From people who think that I am completely and totally wrong and an idiot who should never be never be listening to another E.L.O. song again in my life. Well,
so I think we've only got. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say when you get to these albums, it's nobody can get excited enough to yell at me about anything. I can't get excited enough to say that it stinks. So I'm so glad when something like Fault Line comes along.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah, that doesn't stink and is a great and actually get some good discussion going.
yes. Um, well, we only got 5 more songs left. So
True.
until Jeff puts out, I'm sorry, E.L.O. puts out a new album that Jeff teased at the beginning of the year in his New Year's message. So I'm hoping that From Out of Nowhere completes this sound trilogy. Because, like, as I've said before, the E.L.O. discography seems to move in 3 albums. The first 3 albums are the experimental, heavy cello kind of stuff. Then the next 3, El Dorado to A New World Record, it's more classical leaning. And then Out of the Blue to Xanadu, it's more pop radio friendly. Then Time to Balance of Power, it's heavy synthesizer. And now we've had Zoom to From Out of Nowhere, which is like bare. It's E.L.O. without the orchestra or much of the orchestra. And a lot of the songs kind of just run into each other, and you really don't notice the difference. So hopefully that's over with, and Jeff has finally found a new sound after 30 years.
That would be nice.
That would be very nice. Or
No,
even,
and in all honesty, I was expecting there to be a new album before we ever finished the
well,
podcast,
I think,
especially with the 50th anniversary coming and gone.
yeah, I think that was everybody's expectation that last year, the 50th anniversary. But maybe he's counting this year, because this is the 50th anniversary of when No Answer was released in America. So maybe that's the anniversary that's coming up. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. Are we done here?
I think we're done here.
I think so too. Move the pointer down here.